In the autumn of 2024, investigators in Cleveland, Ohio, faced a bizarre set of circumstances. A son and young father had been missing for over a week. The apartment where he was thought to be living was found cleared out. Both he and all of his belongings vanished, seemingly overnight. There were no cameras. In fact, there was no record of the man even living in the building. But what investigators did find were signs that something very sinister had happened inside that apartment.
Went in the door, went in the unit, there's blood all over on the floor. You can see where it's been mopped up all on the floor.
You checked the whole unit, or
yes,
you walked
through the whole unit. The doors are locked.
Okay.
Hi there, I'm Kevin, and welcome to Just Thought Lounge. Today's case is a recent one out of Ohio. The story of a murder with some missing pieces, and of a perpetrator so confident they believed they could talk their way out of suspicion. Let's take a look. On November 8th, 2024, Sonia Calloway contacted the Cleveland PD to report that her 32-year-old son, George Cox, known as June, was missing. His last known communication had been in late October, after which his phone appeared to have been disconnected. Calls went straight to voicemail. George's father, George Cox Sr., spoke with his son most days. Deeply concerned, he had traveled to Ohio from Detroit to meet with detectives outside of an apartment building on Bosworth Avenue, his son's last known address. George Jr.'s phone location, shared with his father, last pinged near his building on October 19th, the last day anyone had heard from him.
We went to talk to the people at the bar. He said he do have a camera that's facing his way and that they running the footage back from the date that we gave him. But then the guy said he about 99% sure on the 20th he saw a small U-Haul here, which was the next day after his last known location was here.
George Sr. had already been into his son's apartment. The door was left unlocked. Inside, it had been cleared out. George, along with all of his belongings, had vanished. Though the apartment was nearly void of furniture, there may have been something left behind. Remnants of a cleanup.
Went in the door, went in the unit, there's blood all over on the floor. You can see where it's been mopped up all on the floor.
You checked the whole unit, or
yes,
you walked
through the whole unit. The doors are locked. It's open.
Okay.
Detectives made their way inside. The apartment door was ajar. Entering the unit, detectives found it nearly empty. A sofa, its cushions removed, sat in the living room. A matching footstool, also missing its cushion, was in the middle of the room. A small table remained in the corner, and another by the entrance to the hallway. Random items had been left out in the kitchen. That George had moved out of his home abruptly and had since ceased all communication with family was unsettling. What detectives spotted on the floor of the living room was even more disturbing. Just as George Sr. had stated, detectives spotted suspected blood on the floors, the baseboards, and the walls.
I see what you saw.
What's that?
I see what you saw.
Upon closer inspection, it appeared that the cleanup was not isolated to the living room. There were smaller spatter stains, coupled with larger areas that had been partially cleaned in the hallway, on internal doorknobs, and by the front door. They told the story of a severe injury, an attack that moved around the whole of the apartment.
I mean, look at that.
It's smeared for sure. I left my light. Oh, yeah.
Detectives called back to the station. George's missing persons case was about to be recategorized as a homicide.
There was some questionable stuff over here. There's no question about it.
It's questionable, let's just do it. Yeah, that looks good to me.
All right, and then we also have the couch. The wall looks cleaned behind the couch.
Okay.
All right, and then there's a spot over here.
Yeah.
So I kind of think, yeah, I mean, you can see all these.
You can see it all over the place.
Yeah. So I think we need to.
Luminol testing later revealed a horrific scene. Detectives stated that the apartment lit up worse than a Christmas tree, more like the Northern Lights, though this analogy hardly suited the dire circumstances. There were few leads. The most pressing was connecting with George's girlfriend, Dy'mond Vaden. According to his family, the two had lived together at that apartment on Bosworth Avenue. Their relationship was a rocky one. The only problem was, neither of their names were on the lease for the unit. There was no record of the two living there, only the recollection of the landlord.
So I was able to get the leaseholder. Well, I talked to the management. That was the management up here. Cameras don't work upstairs. Dy'mond, he's, in his words, is this guy Ezekiel, who is the leaseholder's girlfriend, who's not really supposed to be here. Ezekiel's in prison right now. I'm going to look, the mail's stacked up. His name's on there. So he's the actual leaseholder through like Eden, like a CMHA program. And
Well, I just got the phone with her. She goes, we're at the wrong apartment. She lives at 3688 Bosworth.
It seems that the bloodied unit was the home of a man named Ezekiel.
George, did you ever meet your son here before? Being told it's the wrong address. Yep.
Being told it's the wrong address.
Yeah. It's right down the road.
You went in that apartment.
Yeah. So you never came here before and saw him?
Yes. My ex just brought my granddaughter here. She took me in the unit and said, yeah, this is the apartment. This is where the bed was. This is this. One of the
Who took you in there?
My granddaughter.
Your granddaughter.
Yeah.
Today.
That's when I called the other guy.
Yeah.
I said, hey, I came in here, man. He was like, hey.
Hang in here. We're going to run down here to where she allegedly is at. All right?
Dy'mond was found at her home on Bosworth, just down the street. She was waiting outside for them with her mother.
Not really, but I guess.
That's the one that was on the Instagram.
That's the one's on the report.
Oh, I don't know. I stay here though.
With who?
I stay here with my friend. I can confirm it.
Okay, yeah, let's go in your apartment real quick.
No problem.
Does George live here?
No, but he was in my space. Well,
Where's George live at?
George lived with his sister in Euclid.
George lives with his sister and you.
Yeah.
But you mean he comes and stays there with you?
He comes, but he don't have any clothes here. He don't have any clothes here.
He doesn't have any clothes here?
No. My friends stay here with me, but he don't have any clothes here. We just have my room where we be at.
Yeah.
That's my mom.
That's your mom? Okay.
Dy'mond Vaden and George Cox Jr. had been dating for roughly 4 years before he went missing. They did not share any children, though each had a child from a previous relationship. Family members on both sides referred to the relationship as toxic. They argued frequently, and their disagreements could turn physical. Indeed, George had a lengthy record of arrests, which included reported incidents of abuse with his previous girlfriend. Dy'mond, however, insisted that this behavior was not present in her relationship with George. She dismissed physical altercations that had taken place as insignificant. She characterized their romance as passionate as opposed to violent.
We have had times where we fought, of course. We didn't disagree on a lot of things, but we worked. And he was like the best boyfriend I ever had.
Because he's got a long history of domestic violence.
And that's what his
Not against you.
That's what his baby mother.
Yeah.
It's not with me.
A lot of questionable.
It's not with me.
Okay.
Me and him didn't get to that point.
Dy'mond last saw George around October 18th when he left her place on foot to meet with a friend. Over the following days, she called his cell phone several times. Each attempt to reach him went straight to voicemail. Eventually, Dy'mond made contact with a friend of George's, who she said confirmed that he had been arrested and was in custody out of state awaiting extradition. Indeed, rumors had been circulating that this was the case, supported by the widely known fact that George had out-of-state warrants for various nonviolent offenses. These rumors delayed and confused the search for him in the days immediately following his last communication. Cleveland PD could now confirm, however, that he was not, in fact, being held in custody anywhere in the country.
What do you think happened to George?
To be honest, I think he okay. I don't think nothing happened to him.
No?
No, because why would somebody do something to him now?
Well, that was going to be my next question. Would anybody want to do anything?
No, if anything, God that he
Why
get out
ever?
of jail with. Right, ever. God, he get out of jail, he meet guys, kick it out here on the streets, don't really get to know them. Always fall.
So he wouldn't have come across somebody that he maybe was fighting a lot or had arguments with? Or...
No, not. But you want to know what?
Well,
he would tell me that he got cool with somebody that threatened his mom. And I was like, why would you do that? Anybody threaten my mom, I wouldn't deal with them.
So you don't know of him having any issues prior to him going missing where he was arguing with people, maybe something he pissed somebody off?
Nah, with his dad. His brother said he do have a problem with when he drinking. You know, he do have a problem with police officer. When they arrest him, he's crazy. Okay, he gets into arguments with people.
When he's drinking. So he's a bad drunk.
Even when he's irritated that the Wi-Fi not on.
Yeah.
He mad.
Has George ever been diagnosed with any mental health issues?
I'm not sure. I always thought my baby was just crazy in love for me. But
Yeah. It might be. Don't rule it out. What about you?
While Dy'mond downplayed George's behavior, her mother refused. She told detectives about George's temper and times in which he had lashed out and destroyed property. During one incident, she claimed that George had broken every window in her car.
Once she met this guy, my daughter's life whole changed. She cut everybody out. It was just her and him.
Yeah.
Then it got to the point where she wanted to come over and see my grandson, but she had this dude with her. And I said, no, this guy would literally, because I wouldn't let her come to the house, he would come, bust all my house windows out, bust all my car windows out.
What you doing?
And I just couldn't deal with her. And it hurt.
What you doing with this guy?
What she was doing with this guy, he was just toxic.
I mean, in the beginning, it's not like that. You know what I'm
He
saying?
was always toxic to us.
It's always good in the beginning.
The conversation with Dy'mond and her mother was potentially revealing of George's character. Detectives were left with questions relating to what kind of trouble George Cox Jr. could have found himself in, or what dangerous circumstances his temper had landed him in.
Well, you know what? That's what I'm saying. This young man was doing all kind of
Yeah.
He was having gunfights. He was in the streets. He was jacking people.
Yeah.
He ain't obeying the law. He has no respect for authority. It's just awful. He had no respect for me. So I didn't understand how he cared for her. They was very toxic.
Yeah.
They fought.
Yeah.
They did.
So
They
he beat her up.
Absolutely.
There were also other considerations. First, that the landlord, a man named Joe Facino, who owned the building with the bloody apartment at 3644 Bosworth, claimed to know Dy'mond Vaden. He said that she had been living in apartment 201 with George. Dy'mond, conversely, insisted that she had never once even stepped foot inside the building. She did not know anyone named Ezekiel and had no connection to the crime scene. There were no working cameras to contradict that claim.
You sure you've never been down there?
No, I'm pretty sure. I'm sure.
They know who you are. And they said you've been going in there after this guy was in jail.
Well, who? George?
Whoever owns that apartment.
Oh, I don't know.
Ezekiel owns that apartment.
I don't know who Ezekiel is.
But they said he's in jail and that you've been in and out of that apartment.
And I have keys here. I don't have keys.
I know.
Yeah, it don't make sense. That's why I thought at first, I told my mom.
You're not going down there to party?
I'm not. I promise you. I'm not.
Dy'mond explained that both 3644 and her building at 3688 were owned by the same person. The landlord simply confused the location where he had seen her, she said. Perhaps the landlord's claim that Dy'mond had been living in the apartment that was now an active crime scene could be explained away by a mistaken recollection. But what happened next set things straight. Only minutes following her interview with detectives, Dy'mond called Facino, the landlord. She connected with him while he was actively on the phone with the detectives who had just interviewed her. They were seeking to verify her story. She was looking to reinforce it. Facino promptly and covertly looped detectives into a three-way call. Listening in, they heard Dy'mond tell him a story about who he could say cleaned out apartment 201. She also told him, "I ain't got nothing to say, and you don't either." It was very clear Dy'mond was lying about where she lived, and she definitely had something to hide. Two days after the discovery of the scene at 3644 Bosworth, Dy'mond Vaden was invited into the station for a formal interview.
Yeah, one of those chairs. This is our interview room, so.
Yeah. Did you guys have lunch today?
Water.
Did you guys have lunch today?
Well, hell no.
In the intervening days, the crime scene had been processed. Tests showed that the luminol markings in the apartment were in fact blood. Whether it was a match to George Jr. was still undetermined.
You called Joe.
Yeah, I called Joe.
We were on that call.
Yeah, I called Joe.
Yeah, but we were on the call
Yeah.
and listened to the call, and you told him specifically not to tell the police about you guys staying in that apartment in 201.
Me?
Yes.
Well, I don't know. I probably did, but I never actually stayed there.
I can understand you wanting to distance yourself from the apartment because we also know something really bad went down in that apartment.
Oh, yeah.
So we're kind of in a really bad spot right now for you, right? Where you need to
I'm being honest and being truthful.
at this point, you kind of be fully truthful.
Yeah, I'm being fully truthful.
And we need to know about the bad thing that happened in that apartment.
What happened in the
That's what we're here to find.
And that's what I'm trying
We
to
don't
find.
know the specifics, but we can tell you that something very bad happened in that apartment.
Well, I don't know.
Have you ever seen, you watch true crime shows ever?
I watch First 48.
Okay. Are you familiar with luminol or blue star,
No.
things like those? Okay, so those are chemicals that we use to detect the presence of blood even after it's been cleaned up.
Okay.
And the living room in that apartment glows like a Christmas tree.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's an apartment that you've been very, very thoughtful about keeping your name away from.
Well, I don't have any proof that I stayed there. You know what I'm saying? That was in my apartment.
What we've done with that apartment is we collected swabs from everywhere.
Okay.
Okay, from door handles, bathroom fixtures,
Of course.
from closet doors, hallways, kitchen, appliances.
Mhm.
And we collect DNA from all of those places, right? Unquestionably, your DNA will come back to that apartment.
Oh yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Well, I'm going to tell you, when it does, and you've not been forthright about being in there, it's going to make you a number one suspect for anything that happened to
Well,
George.
I'm ready for any results that you guys have because I've been truthful. If that wasn't the case, I wouldn't. The
problem is you're not being truthful about staying in that apartment because we have a dozen witnesses that will say that you were staying in that apartment.
Well, at the end of the day, witnesses is going to say what they think and what they know because they've seen us out there. They've seen us.
No. You're saying that they may have seen you at the Bosworth Tavern and in front of the building.
Yeah.
These people say that you were staying in that apartment with George.
Okay, so people know George around there?
And they're going to be 12 to 1
Okay.
that you were there, and then we're going to have your DNA in this place.
Okay.
And your W-2.
Yeah.
There's paperwork with your name on it in this apartment.
Well, I know he
and your diary.
Yeah, he used to. Your
diary is in here.
Yeah, he used to scam and do everything. So.
This is not about.
Investigators had not only processed the scene, they had searched the second apartment on Bosworth where Dy'mond was now staying. the home she claimed to have lived in for the previous 8 months. It was leased to a man named William Rogers, who gave investigators full access. A handful of items were seized for testing. A mop and bucket with suspected blood. A pair of purple slides from a bedroom closet. A black and silver Ruger handgun located under a mattress, as well as a pair of black Hunter brand boots, which sat out in the living room. It was the final pair of boots that held the most interest. Once again, luminol testing revealed what the naked eye could not detect.
And we collected some boots that belong to you from that apartment.
Okay.
And they have a good amount of blood on them.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah. So I think at this point, again, I can't tell you exactly what happened. I don't know exactly.
I don't think that's what I'm saying, but
we are headed very quickly to figuring that out.
you guys can go to Will's house. He don't mind.
We're there right now. We're done.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, do you understand me?
Of course. Yeah.
We've collected boots.
Okay.
We collected a revolver.
Oh, that must have been his.
And we've collected some cleaning supplies and a mop. But most importantly, these that are your size, not Will's size, with a lot of blood on them. When it does turn out to be his blood,
Yes, sir.
what is going to be the excuse for that?
It's not gonna be no excuse, cause I don't think that his blood was on any of my boots or anything. Because
Okay.
I would never hurt him.
Well, I'm not saying that you did hurt him, but
I would
it
never.
seems like maybe you were part of cleaning up somebody
No.
who hurt him.
Wasn't part of it. I haven't worn those boots in so long.
I think the bottom line is here, there are just way too many things pointing to your involvement in
Yeah,
this.
of course. That's how it is because I was close to him.
No.
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 It's not because you're close to him, it's because of all the things that we just pointed out to you.
Oh, right.
You've been lying to us about your association with that apartment.
I never stayed there though.
Unfortunately, it's starting to look a lot like you had something to do with it.
I did not.
And I'm not telling you what it is that happened in that apartment,
Yes.
but I'm telling you that we know that something happened in that apartment and we're getting very close to figuring it out. And
Okay.
you want to get ahead of that.
Yes, of course.
Dy'mond agreed to a buccal swab for DNA testing. She also agreed to hand over her cell phone for investigators to extract the data. On May 16, 2025, kayakers on the Huron River in Erie County caught sight of what appeared to be a human body, wrapped in a blanket, floating in the water.
The Huron Fire Department was eventually able to recover the remains from this marsh area. It was a tough job because of the location where the body was at.
It was roughly 1,000 feet from the State Route 2 bridge and had come to rest next to some vegetation.
The body was wrapped in a bed sheet and had ropes tied around it, both near the feet and also near the waist area. Now, those bindings were not very tight, but again, the fact that there were ropes wrapped around it in a bed sheet, certainly could indicate that there was some foul play. It was pretty significantly decomposed. The coroner's office is able to tell us it's the body of a black male. They believe 20s to 30s, but that's kind of a rough estimate at this point.
The body was recovered and sent to the Lucas County Coroner's Office for examination. Testing confirmed they had located George Cox Jr. The medical examiner wrote that the clandestine nature of the body's disposal suggested non-natural causes. Furthermore, the police investigation to that point indicated a violent death. Yet, with the time that had passed, the autopsy was limited. Both the cause and manner of death was ruled undetermined. Where the autopsy failed to reveal a full picture, the data from Dy'mond Vaden's phone filled in the gaps. Though her searches had been deleted, her browsing history was nonetheless recovered. It told the story of George's murder. George was last seen on October 18th and spoke with his mother on the morning of the 19th. By just past 12:30 a.m. on October 20th, Dy'mond was accessing pages on the question and answer platform Quora, then Reddit. She read a response to the query, "What are the chances to survive in real life if you get stabbed in the abdomen multiple times?" 15 minutes passed before she accessed answers to the question, if someone is stabbed with a knife or similar foreign objects, is it advisable to pull it out from the body or leave it in? 2 minutes later at 12:54 a.m., casual question, if someone gets stabbed, which wounds are directly fatal and which are not? Also incriminating was her activity in the aftermath. On November 6th, she twice accessed an article about a body found in a body of water. It was entitled, 33-year-old man who went missing, found dead in river. With an arrest warrant for murder in hand, investigators located Dy'mond living at a new address with a new boyfriend. His name was Emmanuel. Messages between them recorded her threatening him. After he failed to return her calls, she wrote, "You're going to be missing next." Dy'mond Vaden agreed to speak with investigators once more. Testing had since confirmed that the blood found in the apartment and on the hunter boots seized from Dy'mond's residence was in fact a match to George. Investigators had also uncovered text messages between Dy'mond and Eden, the housing support nonprofit through which her ex-boyfriend Ezekiel had leased the unit. Pretending to be Ezekiel's sister, she had acquired a set of keys to the home. Then she and George had moved in.
Why are you pretending to be Ezekiel's sister?
What do you mean? Who told you that?
I got the text messages from Eden that you're having people.
You know I'm not his sister.
I know. Why are you going to tell him that? And you also told the landlord that as well. Okay, why? Why were you doing that? Just to stay in the apartment for free?
No, I wasn't staying there. I was just trying to get an apartment. That's what I was talking to.
Dy'mond continued to refuse that she had any connection to the apartment at 3644. She was confronted with the evidence from her phone data and dismissed it. There was one final piece of clear evidence. A matching sheet to the fitted one found with George in the river was located in the house search of Dy'mond's apartment.
When you went in your phone on the night of October 19th, okay, and you had a bunch of Google searches, well, you deleted a lot of the Google searches, but you didn't delete the pages, okay? So why are you Googling things like, how long does it take? Should you remove a knife after stabbing somebody in the stomach? Why would you be Googling something like that?
I don't know, it's just Google like that. I Googled some weird the other day.
I'm laughing because it doesn't make any sense. It makes no sense.
You know, how long should you remove the knife or leave it in?
I don't remember saying that.
Well, you did.
We did say it.
You searched, and George is found in the sheet out, in the river.
I don't have to wrap anybody up in no shit.
You do.
I don't have to do that. I have a brother that I love truly. I don't have to do that. And that's somebody's brother. And at the end of the day, that's... I don't have to do that. I don't have to kill anybody. And I don't have to...
Well, you did. I don't know if you had to, but you did.
Making no progress, detectives moved on to questions about the cleanup. How had she managed to remove George from the apartment, transport and dispose of him in the river, and clean out the entire home in 2 days? She must have had help.
So I tell you, you are by yourself. I know. Okay.
Wait, so I did something and I was with someone?
I think you had help. I think you had help. Somebody helped you clean up. Somebody helped you. You called somebody afterwards. Somebody came there, because his body is not there. So somebody helped. And that's how you help yourself out. I mean, that's all. This is where we go. We interview. I talk to you, and then I go back to the prosecutor and say, "Listen, we talked about it. She understands. She feels remorse. Bad. She has told us about. She's willing to work with us on who else is involved, blah blah blah." And that's how we get a little sympathy, a little bit of movement with the prosecutors.
Right. But I didn't do anything wrong. I didn't think that it would come to this point, honestly.
Eventually, Dy'mond Vaden did admit her guilt. After she was indicted in the summer of 2025 on 2 counts of murder, felonious assault, and 1 count of tampering with evidence and abuse of a corpse, she opted to accept a guilty plea on 1 count of involuntary manslaughter, in addition to the lesser charges. A condition of her plea was to name the individuals who assisted her in the cleanup of the crime scene and disposal of George's body in the river. She offered 2 names. The first was her roommate, William, and the second, a man named Donald, who was known around the area of Bosworth. Though efforts were made to verify Dy'mond's accusations against her alleged accomplices, no charges were ever filed against either man. Dy'mond's sentencing hearing took place on March 11, 2026. George Cox Sr. offered a victim impact statement to the court.
You know, when we first realized George was missing, I reached out to the defendant and spoke with her. She told me, she said, "Dad, I would never do anything to hurt George." She called me Dad, knowing that my son was floating in the river somewhere with his body just decomposed, knowing that he had been hog-tied, wrapped in a sheet, drove an hour and 15 minutes away, and thrown in the water like he was just garbage and trash. And just to concur with Candy said, he wasn't trash. He was a son. He was a father. He was a nephew. He was a brother. He was a friend. He was a lot of things. May not have been perfect, but who is? But he definitely didn't deserve to die like that.
When Dy'mond was offered an opportunity to speak, she offered a vague apology for what she called an unfortunate circumstance. There was no mention of what specifically motivated her to murder George Cox Jr.
You said that you were truly very sorry for what happened to George. What happened to George?
George died. So, like my lawyer told me, she didn't want me to make it about me, but I felt that it would be better if I was to...
How did he die? What happened?
He was beat up and he was dead.
By?
By me.
Asking if somebody was stabbed in the abdomen, how long it would take them to survive?
Yeah.
Was he alive after you had stabbed him in the abdomen? And he was bleeding out? So you had an opportunity to call 911 on his behalf? The detective said that there's blood all over the house. Did he go to different areas of the house while he was bleeding?
He just told me to save him, try to save him.
And why didn't you?
Save him?
He's asking, he's bleeding out, there's blood all over the house. This has taken a long period of time. You've Google searched, how long does it take someone to die after being stabbed in the abdomen multiple times?
Just panic. I panicked. Panic.
You would rather have seen him die then than get help? This was your Google search, right?
Yeah.
How long does it take someone to die? Yes?
Despite her confession, half-hearted apology, and claims of panic, the judge rejected leniency. He pointed to the callous searches made on her phone while George was dying, followed by her coordination with at least one accomplice to bind, transport, and dump his body. Her lies to family and police in the weeks that followed were interpreted as signs of her lacking any remorse. Dy'mond Vaden was sentenced to a minimum prison term of 19 years and 7 months. The maximum term she will serve is just over 25 years, followed by post-release supervision. And that was the tragic case of George Cox Jr. Thank you for joining me. And a thank you to everyone who watches and supports JTL. This week, I'd like to welcome our newest Sherlock Holmes members: Vice in My Head, Tanya, Tammy McCoy, Longarm, Irma Linda Hernandez, Mario Carrasco, Daniel Afar Lecky, Flawless Hair Productions, Blondie Wu, Michelle F., Jaminda, Dy'mond Painting Princess, Chandra Harper, CJ, Luna Tickles, Regina Perry, and Claudia. It's great to have you all in the lounge. My name's Kevin. This is Just Thought Lounge, and I'll see you in the next one.
Sherlock Holmes with it, I put you in your place. Got my smoking pipe, only right, I crack another case like. I need that feeling that you brought. Who learned the lesson that you taught? To make a killing's what they saw. Found out the lounge just what you thought. Found out the lounge just what you thought. Cases that really make you think. Found out the lounge just what you thought.